Better half a loaf of bread than none. No, better none than half a loaf of bread. That's how we want better none than half a loaf of bread. Anyhow.
Hola guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karimash, and if you're new here, you're most welcome.
Hola guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karimash, and if you're new here, you're most welcome. So be sure to subscribe. And if you're watching over and over and over and over and over again and you've not subscribed, really? What are you doing? What are you doing? And what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So be sure to subscribe. The subscription button is just right here, guys. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that every time I get to upload a new video, you'll be among the first people to be notified. Yeah, so today's episode, I'm back again with Storytime Edition. Yes, and without further ado, let's get started.
Be good to me. I'll be good. Promise me you'll be good to me.
So, guys, in Elam, where I spent the first 3 years of my life in Cuba, we used to have insects all year round, except maybe November, December, and some part of January. But for the other months, we used to have like insects all year round. Those insects included, I think, mosquitoes, and then we had, I don't remember the others, but they used to be like small, tiny insects which used to be attracted to light. So even at some point, I thought I was studying entomology. I should have been an entomologist, by the way, but anyway. So these insects, and they used to come inside the room whether the lights are on. Some used to come whether the lights are switched off, because there are times where we used to switch off the lights, and then when we leave the room, when we come back and we switch on the lights, oh my gosh, these insects are everywhere, on your bed, on your shoes, in your water, everywhere. So you have to start whisking them away, and oh my gosh, just a fight of insects almost every month. And among those insects that we used to have were also mosquitoes, especially during the hot months here in Cuba. And so these mosquitoes, they used to be so many and so huge. Huge mosquitoes, like these very huge mosquitoes, but they, guys, it's not an exaggeration. So these mosquitoes did not even used to respect repellent, because they'd still eat you even if you've applied repellent. Can you imagine? Tough life. So what used to happen was that in the school, you just hear people all the time, like, ta, 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 ta. And I remember the first time they used to be like, why are people shooting stuff here? And what are they even using to shoot? Then I found out that no, it's because people have zappers and they used to zap the mosquitoes. So you'll just hear ta, 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 because the mosquitoes are so many and everyone in every room is just trying to zap the mosquitoes, for those who used to have zappers. So the school, whenever they know that, this is the month of mosquitoes or the months of mosquitoes, they used to organize something called fumigation. So they start from the first building where students used to stay all the way to the last building, and they fumigate the whole thing. So you could just be chilling in your room and you're just having a good time. Maybe you're planning to eat or study, and then you just hear someone shouting, "Ay, fumigation! Fumigation!" Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, you'd get so pissed off because sometimes you don't get the notice earlier on. Sometimes maybe in the course of the day, you'd hear people just saying, today there's going to be fumigation. But the times that you're caught unawares and you just hear, "Ay, fumigation," someone just shouts and screams, "Ay, fumigation," that means that there is fumigation, and that only means one thing. You have the option, not even the option, this is the only thing you can do. You pick yourself up, you get out of the room, get out of the whole of the building, and go outside until when the people who are responsible to fumigate your room, and then the smoke has to, that fumigation, the smoke thing has to leave your room and the whole building. Because if you try going back after they're done fumigating, if you try going back to the room immediately, it's like trying to go to go back into a house that's burning. Of course, the smoke is going to choke you, and that's not good for your health. So we used to really hate that. Like, you're just chilling and then you're like, fumigation, and just like, not again, not today. And I don't know why. Most of the times they used to come and fumigate when you're so busy. You know, like that night you're so set to study because you have like an evaluation tomorrow or you've got exams tomorrow. It only used to happen at those times. And I used to ask myself, why can't you people just come and fumigate on the days where I'm so free, you know, not doing anything, the days where I just want to go and chill? But the days that you have exams or seminarios, those are the days that you'd hear, fumigation, por favor, fumigation. So that means you have to leave the room. And then, you know, the way you'd always psych yourself up, I'm going to leave the room, I'm going to go downstairs. We used to go to a place called Piscina. So I'd go downstairs and then I'm going to study. But then you're there with your roommates. Hey, let me tell you, the stories become hot. You even forget that you had something called studies. So for like 2 hours, because by the time they're done fumigating, to the time where, you know, the smoke is dissipated and now the air is clean, it's like almost, let's say, 2 hours. So for 2 hours, you're just there, you're talking, you're catching up with your roommates, you're catching up with your friends, and just having a good time. Of course, on the days whereby you had group discussions, it used to work the best because you'd go to that piscina, you and your group members, and you'd always just do your group work and finish. Or on the days that you're actually really, really energized and psyched and you know that, you know what, I'm not studied. So we used to take that time because some of my roommates and I, we used to be in the same group, not in the same class, but in the same group. So we'd revise and, you know, we just ask each other questions and all that. So that was how fumigation was. Mostly when there were mosquitoes. I can't clearly remember if they came and fumigated when we had other insects, you know, but mostly during fumigation. So this one time in my room, we used to have such a great time. Like I've stated before, and if you've been following me, you know that I used to stay inside a room. And we used to have a great time. My roommates and I, by the way, when it came to nonsense, we were top notch. When it came to serious conversations about life, about everything, we were top notch. Like I was just surrounded with people. The 8 of us were just a group of people who we were just matured, and for those who are not matured, we had to mature, you know. And it was just an amazing place to be in. That Quattro Quattro was such an amazing place to be in. So on this day, this one night, somehow it happened that all of us were inside the room. I can't remember, but all of us were inside the room somehow, which was so weird because some of us used to go and study in the library, some used to go and, you know, talk to their countrymates and talk to their friends out there. But on this very night, all of us at the same time were inside the room. And I can't remember what brought us into the room and what exactly we were doing, but all of a sudden we just started having conversations, and not just superficial conversations, you know, just small talk where it's just nonsense. Because I've said we were also pros in that. When it came to nonsense, there were 4 people inside that room, me being one of them, who was just full of nonsense. When it came to nonsense, but they shout out to the other 3. They know themselves, and I'm sure they're going to be watching this. So we started talking and just having these conversations about life and about things in general. And we were so into it. You know, when you're just concentrating and this conversation is really building you up, and we were all just focused, and you know when you're just in the zone of a beautiful conversation. So that was us that night. So we talked and we started talking, and the talk went on and on and on and on and on. And then suddenly we realized that everything was quiet. Like normally in our school, people would be playing music, or in the next rooms, you'd hear people playing music, people walking along the corridors. You know, all of a sudden while we were talking, we realized that, yo, by the way, guys, can we be quiet for a moment? Because again, we used to talk so loud. So loud. We used to be the noise makers of the floor. Like we were just that room was just the best. So all of a sudden we're just like, can we just keep quiet for a moment? And when we kept quiet, guys, guess what? There was no one on the floor. No one was on the floor. And this time around, all we could hear was just, all of a sudden, we just started hearing the sound of the person fumigating. And, the sound is like, because you can hear the machine. When we started our conversation, let me take you guys a bit. When we started our conversation almost 2 hours ago, when we were together, we could hear that machine, yes, but we thought they were fumigating other buildings. That meant that they were still far. Because this machine, when someone is fumigating, it's so loud. It's loud and it's very irritating. So we thought, you know what, guys, we can continue to talk because this person who's fumigating, Todavia, they're still very far, like in other buildings. So let's just continue until, as usual, like I said, someone is going to shout, "I fumigation," so that we can know and we stop the conversation and we leave. But then, the moment we were quiet, we realized that this person who was fumigating was actually on our floor. Can you imagine that? So one of our roommates went and opened the door and, just checked out. And first and foremost, nobody is there. Nobody from the other floor is there. And then the guy is literally approaching our room. So in our panic mode, because first and foremost, we're like in biker shorts and just in lassos, and we're just, we're just chilling in our room. So we're not really properly dressed, let me say that, quote unquote. So we lock the door and we're like, guys, we're not going anywhere. So let's dress up, guys, before this guy approaches our room. By the time he gets here, at least we'll be well dressed and all those things. And also, we don't want to leave the room. It's just better for us to open the windows because the windows were a bit wide, but they had louvers. So cut every person with their own window. And then we just try to get the air from outside instead of leaving the building. And yet, even if we leave the building, it's worse because we'll be going outside the door. We have to smell all this insecticide all the way. Because like I said, it's like walking into a burning house and you don't have any protective gear. So that's what we did, guys. In our adrenaline, we just locked the door and everyone just started dressing up, like dressing up well, throwing up a hoodie, jeans. And then now everyone goes to the window. I hope I find photos. Oh my gosh. So all of us, we go to the window and I remember I was just laughing because I'm like, what are we even doing? Because the mathematics doesn't add up. Which is better? Just to leave one time and go to a place, the piscina basically, which has a lot of air, or try and suffocate here with these little windows which have little air, because also the smoke from the other rooms, they're now coming and somehow making the air concentrated. So we locked the door and we were like, no, we're not going. We're not going anywhere by there, guys. We're not going. So we dressed up and we're like, no, we're not going anywhere. Let's just chill here. So soon and very soon, the air started becoming very concentrated, very, very concentrated. Hey, let me tell you guys, people started coughing now. People started coughing. And by the time, because the air from the other rooms, like the fumigated rooms already, the fumes already getting inside through the door and also outside also. It's just like, it's very, very disgusting. So this guy gets to our room and he knocks our room and he's like, and he knocks so loud. And we all go quiet fast because we're like, oh my God, what do we do? Should we open the room? Should we close it? And then the guy now tries to open the door but finds that it's locked. And he's like, oh yeah, open up this door. And so we're like, yeah, we're almost done dressing up. And so the guy's like, no, I want to get in, I want to fumigate, I want to go. And he starts shouting and we're like, just wait, we're almost done. Because, hey, my bedmate had not yet dressed up, had not yet finished dressing up. And this guy was insisting how he wants to push the door and all these things. And we're just like, just chill. It's just 2 seconds for us to go. But the truth is that, honestly, personally, as a Kenyan, I was just enjoying the drama, one, of this guy. And secondly, I was not ready to leave my room. I was like, by the guys, I'm just ready to just chill. I'm going to get some bit of clean air from the windows. and that's it. I don't want to go outside because we've already inhaled almost, let's say, 90%. What is the use of me again walking down the corridors, which already has fumes? What is the use of that? Let me just stay here and try to get this clean air. And so finally this guy gets in and he's like, I want to fumigate. And he starts fumigating. And we're just like, bro, just wait for us to leave the room. Like, literally, why are you so mad and so angry? We did not know. And nobody shouted fumigation, guys. Nobody shouted I fumigation. But then also we can't blame the person who did not shout because we were also talking so loud that we did not hear. Maybe even other rooms people try to tell us and knock on our doors that I fumigation, but we are just the people who did not hear, you know. So this guy gets in and starts fumigating. And we're like, like, wait, because now there are people inside my room who had chest problems. And then now you want to fumigate instead of just waiting for us to get outside. Like, what is that? So it now became now people, everyone is now mad because, you're going to give me chest problems. Why can't you just wait for me to get out? And then this other guy is also like, I want to get to finish fumigating this your room so that I get out of here as fast as I can and go to my house because it's almost like 9 p.m. in the night. So both parties are so angry. Meanwhile, the Kenyan is just there taking photos. I was just taking photos and enjoying and just being like, yo, this is funny. Because I knew, like, deep down in my spirit, I knew that one day this is going to make such a great story. I didn't know I was going to start a YouTube channel, by the way, but I just knew, like, one day when we meet in the near future, let's say in 10 years' time, we're going to sit back and remember that day, and I'm going to have the evidence, and we just laugh about it. So for me, it was just a beautiful encounter. Because now both parties are angry. We are just there like, okay, what do we do now? Like, we're just there. You're just in that situation whereby, okay, you are angry. Why can't we just both do the right thing? You stop fumigating and you guys rush out as fast as you can. So finally we all dressed up and like we were done dressing up and we just decided to leave the room. So even as we were going downstairs, we were not even running. We were just catwalking, just walking slowly because we had already inhaled a lot of fumes already. By this time it was just a lot. So what was the use of running and you've already inhaled a lot? Just walk as slow as possible downstairs. And yeah, we went downstairs and we started talking about the ordeal. And it was so funny because now we started laughing about it. We started laughing about the fact that people started coughing and those who had chest problems. And it just became so funny. And I remember I was just like, one day this is going to make for such a good story. And we just had fun. Like for the rest of the night, we were just laughing and we were like, never again. Because but then those fumes were very irritating, guys. Those fumes were very, very, very irritating. Ay! Even now I can feel them in my nose. Anyhow, so that was it about our shenanigans as room 4. And it was amazing. And we decided never again, by the way. The moment after that day, every other day that they used to announce I fumigation, trust me, we were among the first people to leave the room because hey, we also love our lungs. We also love our lungs. And yeah, it was such an amazing time. So the night went on and they finished fumigating. And I think the following day, maybe we had a case to answer with the matron of our floor. But she also loved us. So yeah, we kind of got away with it. And we just explained to her how the situation was because the man went and complained, and we also told our matron the side of the story of what happened exactly. And she was just like, next time, just don't do that. You're adults and etc. So we're like, yeah, no worries about that. It will never happen again. And that was it. So we had such a great time afterwards and we learned a lesson. The next time there's fumigation, guys, just get out of the building as fast as you can. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this session. That's the end of Shenanigans with Cuatro Cuarto. And until the next time, guys, have a lovely week ahead. And see you in the next episode. Kwaheri.
Be good to me. be good